Hi, everybody. Last week we talked about the importance of being pre-approved, but today I want to tell you about an option that is available for home buyers in Pennsylvania to help them with those pesky closing costs. Closing costs are kind of that elephant in the room or that last hurdle that people need to get over. They include the down payment, uh, other fees associated with the loan and closing on the home that's due in that one lump payment at settlement. A lot of people, a lot of home buyers have trouble coming up with that, especially first time home buyers. But there is an option available here in Pennsylvania specifically. It's called PHFA. PHFA stands for Pennsylvania Housing Financial Agency. And what PHFA does is they actually create a second mortgage for home buyers. And the amount of that second mortgage can be applied directly to their closing cost at settlement. It helps them bring that closing cost down. Now, like any other agency or that's going to give out money, PHFA does have some requirements and some limits. First of all, you have to be a Pennsylvania resident. Easy enough. Second, their income limit is around 95 to 96,000. You're going to have to check with your lender, your local lender, to see exactly where that amount is because it does change on a yearly basis. The third requirement is you must have a credit score of at least 620 or better. Preferably better, but 620 will do. 620, they will require that you come in for some housing counseling. That's certainly available if you're above 620, but between 620 and 680, that counseling is going to be required. It's not required if you're above 680. Okay, so now you've got those things and you're talking to the lender. How does this PHFA thing work? Well, in a nutshell, what it does is it gives the home buyer 4% of the sales price to use towards closing cost. Now, that 4% caps out at $150,000 or $6,000 of assistance. So if the home that you're buying is $150,000 or less than that, you're going to get 4% of the sales price. If it's over 150,000, you're going to cap out at $6,000 of assistance. Okay? What about paying it back? Is there interest? Is there what do I do with that? Well, the great news is the PHFA second mortgage will allow you to be interest free for the first 10 years on that second mortgage, provided you pay the total amount back in that 10 years. Now, what that means is that's going to add about $50 a month to your payment if you take out that full $6,000 if it's a home over $150,000. It's going to add about $50 a month to your mortgage payment for those first 10 years, but it is completely interest free provided it's paid back within that first 10 years. Okay, so that can give you up to $6,000 to help you with those closing costs. Obviously, this can help you whittle down the closing costs a little bit, but there's a second way it can help you. It can help you to negotiate an offer a little bit better. Let me give you an example of that to sort of explain what I mean. Let's pretend that you have an FHA loan. An FHA loan requires a 3.5% down payment. And let's pretend that you've been saving for a couple of years and you're ready to buy this home, and the most you can save is $8,000. You've put $8,000. That's the amount you have to use towards a down payment, or towards your closing cost. I'm sorry, not a down payment, but your closing cost in general. Now, I picked a random home here in the York area that's $172,900. The closing cost on that home are going to be approximately, and I'm using approximates here, $18,300. Now you can only afford $8,000. That's the most you can do. So obviously what you can do is request up to 6% in assistance to close from the seller. That means you're requesting 6% seller's assist from the seller, which is about $10,300 approximately. That brings you down to that $8,000 that you had saved up for closing cost. Okay, they might take that offer, they might not. A lot of times sellers will give seller's assist, but if they can avoid the full seller's assist, they're going to certainly avoid that. Now, let's say that somebody has that offer on the table, but you're over here in the situation where you've got PHFA, so you've got $6,000 you can put towards closing in your back pocket right now. On the same house with the same FHA down payment of 3.5%, closing costs are the same. It's $18,300. But because you've got that $6,000 you can already apply, you've brought your closing costs down to $12,300. You have the $8,000 saved. So the gap you need to meet is $4,300. That's requesting about 2.5% seller's assist. So now you can put an offer on the table of requesting 2.5% seller's assist, and you're still getting the same amount of closing assistance that this person over here is getting. Well, which offer is the seller going to take? All other things equal, they're looking at a 6% seller's assist or 2.5% seller's assist. They're going to take your offer. You're only requiring them to give you 2.5% or requesting that they give you 2.5% seller's assistance. So that's the other way it can just help you in negotiating and bargaining at the table. So if you think this is a great option for you, and I really would encourage you to look into it, make sure you check with your lender to see what the requirements and the limitations are. I'm sure that most of you will be eligible for something. If you speak with that lender and they tell you they don't participate in PHFA, my best advice to you would be to kindly tell that lender thank you for your time, but you might want to move on and find somebody else that works with PHFA and that is able to find you that kind of a second mortgage. If you need help with knowing someone who can give you that, please feel free to link to the website here on the Facebook page. Send me an email. You can private message me. Let me know. I can certainly connect you with 2 lenders here in the area that I'm aware of that help people with PHFA and are very good with the ins and outs of it. If you have any other questions, again, feel free to leave a comment below or send me an email link to the website there. If not, I'll see you next week. Have a great week.